I never worked in that arena, but I saw that in the timeshare world, people didn't want to go the same week that they bought every year. And so there were two companies out there that did the exchange platform for timeshare owners. One was called RCI, the other one was called Interval International. They both had 10 million members traveling with their timeshare unit.
Where do you see this? I mean, do you see it evolving? I mean, do you have competition right now? I mean, how do you see this market expanding in the next 10 years? What's your thoughts?
So we don't have any competition right now, but I imagine there will be at some point. I believe that 10 years from now, Daniel, nobody will buy a second, very few people will buy a second home or vacation home without joining a club like Third Home. It won't make any sense to have an asset sit empty like that most of the year and then go somewhere else and pay people a lot of money to rent a place. It just won't make sense. So I believe that 10 years from now, pretty much every resort real estate agent will be connected to a club like Third Home that will offer that when people purchase the home. They'll buy a home at Malibu or Kiawah Island, South Carolina, and with that will come a membership to Third Home or Fourth Home or Fifth Home or whatever that allows people to travel the world. Because I think that we'll hit a tipping point that enough people will be doing it that people go, wait a minute, I'm going to buy a second home. I want to make sure I can do that travel too, because that is an issue, for people. So yeah, I think there'll be other companies probably coming out and doing it. We're partnering right now with real estate agents. So if a realtor's listening to this podcast, they can go to Third Home and there's a little place up in the right-hand corner. It says real estate agent. They can click on that. They can represent us. And every client that they offer into the system for free, there's no cost to join, which you asked me about a minute ago. We charge a $295 annual fee after the first year, but there's no cost to get into the club. And the real estate agents can offer this out to their clients. And for every one of their clients who signs up, they get a vacation themselves. So it's a win-win. So we want to partner with all the resort real estate agents out there and give them a benefit as well. So we want to grow with them. And then a lot of short-term rental companies are now offering this through their short-term rental platform. We just worked with a company in Los Angeles, the Myman Group, who does high-end luxury rentals, short-term rentals. And so they're offering out to their clients. So between the real estate agents and the short-term rental companies, we hope to stay a leader in this field. Yeah.
All right, man. I got a little side question here. If you were able to switch homes with a historical figure, who would that be for you, man?
Well, we do have a couple of homes in the club that have some history to them. There's one that was what was his name? The stutterer took his brother took his place as in England, and there was a movie about him. But his brother married Wallace.
Oh yeah.
Simpson, or
I know who you're talking about. Yeah. The guy they made a movie about. He was a famous politician.
And his brother stuttered. He was the king.
Okay. Yeah.
And they had to teach the brother how to speak. And so I've been to that house. I can't remember. Wallace Simpson, that was her name. He married Wallace, and she was divorced, and that did it for him as the king. And he was in the Bahamas. He went to the Bahamas and became, I think, the governor of the Bahamas there after that. And so that house is in the club, and that was kind of cool. It's in the Bahamas. It's interesting. So I've been to several of our houses, Daniel, and every one of them has a little bit of history to it. It's fun to learn the history of some of these houses. I've stayed in one in Italy that was 400 something years old, and we took like 12 couples. I went to another one in Italy recently that we took 12 couples. It was an incredible home, and I learned about the history. They took these people like years to build this house in Puglia. I'm trying to think of some of the other houses around the world.
Do you have any houses in Sardinia? Because I'm going to Sardinia next month. So
yeah, we actually do have beautiful properties in Sardinia. You need a house?
Well, I mean, I already have them booked already. I mean, we're on the north end, and then we're going to travel down to the south end. So we're staying for about 10 days in Sardinia. So,
Yeah,
but
we've got beautiful homes in Sardinia.
yeah.
We got beautiful homes all over Greece, and
Well, it got me thinking because I did want to look at properties when I was there. So I was just thinking if I actually buy a beautiful property over there, then I can stick it into the program and it would be fantastic. So no, I think it's a great idea. I think this is something that a lot of people, it would be attractive to a lot of people that already are in that space. They have, somewhere that's exclusive, or they have a beautiful home somewhere in an attractive area that they could stick it into the program. It just makes, it's almost too good to be true, right? Because I mean, for you to be able to stick your, $1 million home or $500,000 home or whatever into a program in a beautiful spot, because I mean, there's, you can get some beautiful homes right on the beach in Bali for $500,000, or, and so there you could, but to be able to have a home like that, but then at the same time be able to travel somewhere else and be able to stay in a $10 million home, I think it's really attractive for I think it would be attractive for a lot of people because, and not to mention the reason why I wasn't a big, like, let's go buy a house somewhere is because I'm one of those people that I like to stay different places. I've never bought a timeshare because I never wanted to go to the same place all the time. And so I'm an Airbnb guy where I'll look for Airbnbs all over the place. But to have the property that's building equity over time, and you know what I mean? So that's why you would do it.
So part of the reason I started Third Home was that in the timeshare world, you mentioned that, Daniel. I never worked in that arena, but I saw that in the timeshare world, people didn't want to go the same week that they bought every year. And so there were two companies out there that did the exchange platform for timeshare owners. One was called RCI, the other one was called Interval International. They both had 10 million members traveling with their timeshare unit. So I thought, well, if that's appealing for people that own a week, why wouldn't it be appealing to somebody that owns 52 weeks a year in a place? They bought the whole thing. They've got a lot more time sitting empty. So, in a lot bigger investment. And so that was the thing I didn't understand is why nobody ever did it. They did it for the timeshare, but they never did it for full ownership. And so that's one of the reasons I actually started the club was that I just saw a huge market for it. And for the real estate agents who are selling resort real estate, this really answers that big objection for them, because whether they say it or not, that's what they're thinking. Do we want to come to Hilton Head every time we vacation?
If you like this video and you want to watch another one, click right here. If you want to watch the entire podcast, click right here.